There was a time when a stranger sailed on a boat that, unfortunately, was destroyed at sea. All the occupants on board tragically lost their lives in the depths of the ocean, except for one individual. By an act of divine grace, this man miraculously survived the tragedy and managed to reach the shore of the sea. After some time, he regained consciousness and opened his eyes to find himself on an isolated island in Thailand. Upon awakening, the man lifted his prayers to the heavens, pleading to God for help. "Lord, please, light my path. Send assistance in my time of need," he beseeched in his prayer. However, the days passed, and no help seemed to be on the way. He spent his nights on the beach, confronting the unknown with a mix of hope and uncertainty. With the arrival of a new day, he turned to prayer once again, but once more, help did not materialize. This routine continued for several days until the man lost all hope of being rescued from the isolated island. Faced with this unforeseen fate, he began to gather wood and grass, building himself a modest shelter. He also collected items from the shipwreck and stored these few treasures in his modest shelter. Surviving on coconuts and fish, he established a routine, spending his days in solitude. One day, as he was preparing a fire to cook his meal, he leaned in to check the progress of the cooking. However, upon looking again, he sadly noticed that his shelter, which he had built with so much effort, was being consumed by the flames. Anger and frustration overcame him. He looked up to the sky and vented to God. "Oh God, I begged for help, I asked for a sign, and you destroy my shelter, my only source of comfort. You are relentless," he exclaimed to the heavens, expressing his bitterness and disappointment. The night came, and he continued to vent his disappointment with God. Exhausted, he finally fell asleep on the beach and was awakened the next morning by a strange and distant sound. As he opened his eyes, he saw a sheep approaching him. He was perplexed by the unexpected visit, feeling a mix of joy and disbelief. After all, help seemed to have finally arrived. He followed the sheep, which led him to a ship anchored near the island. As he boarded the ship, he approached the captain, asking how they knew he was on that deserted island. The captain explained that they had seen a distant signal of fire coming from the island, and thus, they knew of someone's presence there. Confused, the man explained that he had not lit any signal fire. However, the captain insisted that it was the signal fire that led them to him. It was only then that the man understood the truth. The signal fire mentioned by the captain was, in fact, his own shelter in flames. He realized that God had a greater plan for him, a plan that took him from the burned shelter to unexpected rescue. He understood that sometimes what appears as a setback can be the starting point of a new journey. This narrative reminds us that in our lives, we often make plans and hope that everything unfolds as we desire. However, things don't always go as planned, and we often encounter unexpected challenges and setbacks. In these circumstances, it's easy to lose hope, express discontent, and question divine decisions. However, similarly to the man in the story, on some occasions, what appears to be a barrier is, in reality, part of a broader and wiser plan that God has in store for us. When faced with adversity, it's crucial to maintain faith and patience, keeping in mind that God has a more comprehensive view of our lives and that He may be leading us to something greater, even if it's not immediately visible. Therefore, when our plans don't materialize as we expect, and when we encounter seemingly insurmountable obstacles, let us recall the story of the man on the deserted island. Let's remember that God's plan is bigger, bolder, and superior to our own plans. When facing challenges, let's hold on to our faith, for it's possible that, just like the man whose shelter was in flames, we are being led towards rescue and a destiny greater than we ever imagined. Want to live with more wisdom and purpose? Discover the secrets of Buddhist monks in the ebook The Wealth Through the Eyes of Buddhist Monks. Click on the pinned comment and start your journey of transformation.